What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Steve's Random Stuff. Hey, today I just want to do a post-tournament wrap-up for the Delta tournament this past weekend. I did do kind of a post-wrap-up at the dock or at the marina before we left B&W, but didn't really like the way it came out, so thought I'd just redo that here as a part 3 to this tournament series. And just kind of go over some of the things we did, what worked, what didn't work, and kind of the overall tournament results. Yeah, end of the tournament, I was pretty down. I think I was just kind of bummed we just didn't catch any fish. I had 3 keepers for a total of 3.71 pounds. My partner Robert had caught some fish, but none of them were keepers. They're all like 12 and a half inches. We actually measured one and it was like 12 and 3/4. Just couldn't get that one to go. So that's just kind of how it goes on the Delta. As far as my game plan goes, we kind of ran out to a spot on the San Joaquin River that Robert had fished and had some good success on a couple weeks ago. Really good looking area, kind of behind one of these Thule berms, and nice long channel, good area, good flats where there was some good frog fishing areas. It looked like we did get some blowups on the frog, and it dropped off into deep water, so it looked like some really good areas. So we fished that for probably like a first hour, working through that area, trying to getting something going. Reaction baits a lot, with the swim jig and the spinner bait and the frogs and different topwater baits. Then slowed down, just trying to throw some plastics, and just couldn't get anything going. So we left there, made our way through San Joaquin River, which was pretty rough, and then down to the Holland Marina area. Fished out there, outside the marina, and then into Holland Cut, along the Thule Island that's there. We did catch a couple of fish right at the tip of the island. The first keeper came on a spinnerbait, on that Mr. B spinnerbait, right there off the tip of the island next to the pole, and caught a couple more fish there, but again, undersized. So we kind of worked up there, and the wind was blowing pretty good from the west, and that's kind of an east-west running slough. So we just couldn't stay out there that long, and just in the wind, it was just blowing really hard. So we kind of tucked into the dock area and fished along the docks and along the shoreline, trying to punch some of that thicker hydrilla that's there, or the hyacinths, whatever it's called, and fished around those docks. Fished down to where the sea line was, which you probably saw on the previous video. Fished through there, got again some more bites and some small fish. I think I did catch one keeper, a 13-incher in there. I had a bite on another on the spinnerbait again, but again, a short fish. Worked through that, and then we kind of headed up towards Old River, and then over towards the Mildred area. Fished around the kind of the north end of Mildred, some of the Thule areas. Again, kind of along the rock banks, along the Thules, and then it dropped off into deep water. Tried shallow, we tried deep, tried flipping in the Thules, flipping in the grass, and just couldn't get anything going with any of those baits. And then we ended up the day up in the Potato Slough and fished up in Potato, and that's where I caught my last keeper, on the Tokyo rig with the Sanshuo. Had some other bites on that, and those baits were kind of getting chewed up by those little fish. But that was kind of how the day went. I didn't do a midday update because, like I said previously, I think that there just wasn't much to update on the day's fishing, because we just weren't getting anything going. Overall, we had about 20 anglers. I think there was 2 or 3 limits. Out of everybody, it was a draw tournament, so everybody had to weigh their fish separately. A lot of blanks, unfortunately. The big fish, which you saw in the previous video, was my son Andrew. Had that 902, so that was an outstanding Delta. Toad, to get out there, and he actually got first place, with about 12 1/4 pounds total weight for 4 fish. Second and third place were catching their fish on chatterbaits. And he said, I think various colors are white and maybe white and chartreuse. I don't know if they're using red or bluegill colors, but they said various colors of the chatterbait, but they threw those pretty much all day long. Not sure where they had gone out of, but They both had limits, I believe, with the chatterbaits. And then my 3 measly fish actually got me 5th place, if you can believe that, with you know, at 3.71 pounds. So for 5th out of 20, not too bad, but you know, it could have been better, or much better. So that's kind of how the day went. I think, you know, pretty much everybody struggled to catch fish, and a lot of guys were catching little fish. I talked to one of our club members, and he was throwing a jerkbait in a marina area that was really clear. He said there was clarity was like 6 to 7 feet deep. Caught a bunch of, he said he probably caught 20 fish throughout the day, and most of those on a jerkbait, but again, they're all small little schooling fish and very few keepers out of all those. So not sure where those big toads are hiding out there, but anyways, that's kind of how it goes fishing the Delta. We did cover a lot of water, fished I think a lot of good areas that could be holding fish, but that wind was blowing probably 15 to 20 most of the day. It did die down a little bit towards the end of the day. Gusts were probably up in the mid-20s as far as wind speed, but you know, we fished mostly the north-south running banks and areas out of the wind, which is very doable on the Delta. You can get out of the wind fairly easily just by going around a corner and fishing down a different bank. So good day fishing. Robert was a great partner to fish with. We had a good time out there, you know, overall, and that's just kind of how it goes fishing. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. So anyways, that should do the wrap up for the Delta tournament for October. Give you kind of an update on the ionic batteries that I have in my Champion. They're fully charged when we started the day, and finished the day with the trolling motor batteries at 50%, which is the most I've ever used in a single day. Really happy with the performance of those batteries. We fished in the current, we fished in the wind. At one time I was cranked it up to 7 power on the trolling motor. That's 7 out of 10 on the Ultrex, and was barely moving anywhere, basically just 7 just to hold our position. Stayed there for a little bit, but then, you know, had to get out of there just because of the strong current in that one spot. I did crank up to 10 3 or 4 times just to move positions from one side of the bank to the other, or, you know, from one island to the other without having to crank the big motor. So really happy with the performance of these batteries. Like I said, 50% is the most I've ever used in a single day, and got them all recharged and ready to go for the next trip. So that's an update on the batteries. If you have any questions on those, just feel free to leave me a comment down below. I'll get back to you right away. Next month we'll be back out at Lake Sonoma, getting ready for our next club tournament there later in November. And then the club does an annual open tournament, which is the first Saturday of December. For anybody who's interested in fishing the club event, it's open to everybody. It's a team tournament. Entry fee is, I believe it's still $100 per boat. So again, that's the first week of December at Lake Sonoma. You can sign up the day of, or check out the website at rebc.net. That's Redwood Empire Bass Club, rebc.net, for more information on the open. And hope to see you out there. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe as always. Hit the notification button to get alerts on the next videos that are coming. I'll probably be out in Lake Sonoma in a couple weeks to start fishing that. But anyways, thanks again, and we'll catch you all next time. Have a good one.